welcome to the Give I Eat podcast. I have a really great guest with me today, Mandy Hyde, who actually founded the Diaper Bank of the Inland Empire. You guys fill a really important need for a lot of young families out there, and so really happy to have you on to talk about it. So Mandy, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the Diaper Bank.
Sure. I'm Mandy Hyde, and the Diaper Bank came about through a project of the Junior League of Riverside. Junior League of Riverside's been in Riverside for about, since 1928. And they find needs in the community and they fill them with a volunteer base. So several years ago, we had a project raising a diaper drive for a nonprofit that we worked with. And we did the diaper drive and we raised 16,000 diapers.
Wow.
So I was in charge of that. And at the time I went to the nonprofit and said, hey, we've got all these diapers for you. And they said, we can't use that many. So we made too many of things. So then I started looking for other places to give them away. And just did a deep dive on where people needed diapers and found out at that time 1 in 3 families in the United States suffer from diaper need at some point, which means they don't have enough diapers to keep their child clean, dry, and healthy. So we found some other community partners to work with. And then, do you remember when the government shutdown happened and government employees didn't get paid?
Yeah.
So we decided to do a direct distribution to those people in need. And that's where it really took off. And so we started doing a monthly direct distribution to families because not everybody fits into a program. And so we service about 400 families a month now between community partners and our direct distribution, which happens once a month. It's been really rewarding. And over the years, we've learned so much about what diaper need means. It isn't just enough to keep your child clean. It affects the whole family.
Right.
A study out of Harvard and Yale show that mothers are more embarrassed about diaper need than they are food insecurity. It's a factor in postpartum depression. It keeps kids out of preschool because you have to have diapers to go to preschool, which impacts early learning. So it impacts the whole family. And I get all worked up when I talk about it. But we're doing great work here in the Inland Empire. And about a year ago, the Junior League decided, as they do often, to spin it off into its own entity. And they have a history of that. The Visiting Nurses Association here in Riverside was originally a Junior League project. And Family Services Association, both are very long-standing nonprofits in the area. So we're just the latest nonprofit to do that. So
that's incredible. When you think about the need for a diaper, you're just like, oh, well, I'm just hoping a baby have a diaper, right? But you don't realize how all-encompassing it is to the entire family unit. It's not only, cleanliness for the youngest and newest member, but it's the entire family's well-being.
Yes.
Which is huge.
And you don't, people don't think about it, but some of the ways that families get through it is they just don't diaper their child and they clean up the mess. They use T-shirts. There's just so many non-sanitary ways they do to try to help their child. And one of the things is moms will get stuck at home. Low-income moms will be stuck at home and not able to go do anything because they don't have diapers to take their child out. And it affects across economic. The majority of our families are in the lower income, but it affects everybody. And so we have people who are middle class that for one reason or another, they're struggling this month or they're struggling for a couple months. And they come and then they leave when things get better. So
with the so on a regular basis, you're serving about 400 families.
Yes.
On a regular basis, and then you have your big diaper drive on every so often.
Right.
So where do you guys do that, and how frequently?
So we have several community like Bank of America and Merrill Lynch, who do employee diaper drives for us. And then we do, regular diaper drives. We have a big one coming up in September. September is Diaper Need Awareness Week, where our whole point is to just get the word out about diaper need and what it means to families. So that's a big push we'll have in September. We recently, through Leadership Riverside, great organization, they donated a van to us.
Really?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes. So now we can do mobile distribution because we service all of the Inland Empire. And so we can go out to areas that it's too far for them to come to us. And that's our big push for this year, is to get out to areas where there's diaper need, but we're too far away for them to come to us. So our big event in September is going to be called Jam the Van.
I love it.
And we're going to ask local businesses to do a diaper drive within their community, whether it's their employees or their customers. And then Courtney will drive the van around and get it stuffed.
Oh, it's fantastic. What a fun event. I mean, cram the van.
Yeah. Oh, cram the van. Jam the van, cram the van.
Cram the van. Jam the van.
I don't know. Might be cram the van. It's a new thing.
Just getting started. Yeah. It could go either way.
Yeah.
So how exciting. I mean, that it's taking kind of on a life of its own.
It has.
And because the need is really that great.
It is.
And obviously I know it's an emotional thing for you. And can you think of, and I'm sure you can think of 1,000, but just really integral, important moments that happened while you were on this journey? Maybe a family that will just never leave your mind, or a child.
Sure.
We're going to bring tears.
We're going to bring tears. Sorry. I have two of them. So the first one was when we very first started doing direct distribution. We had a mom come in, and she was the last person in, and she was really, really uncomfortable being there. And so she filled out her paperwork, and they went up to get diapers. She had triplets, and they went up to get her diapers, and I sat down with her and I said, "Hey, what's going on?" She goes, I'm embarrassed to be here. And I said, "There's nothing to be embarrassed about." She and her husband had planned on having one child, upper middle class family. She had triplets, unaided, and now she couldn't go back to work because they had developmental disabilities. And they were with us till the kids were potty trained. And every month we saw them, because it's not just a one-time thing. You can come every month as long as your child is in diapers. And we just bonded with the family. So I live in Tennessee, and I don't get out here as often as I want, but I was here a couple months ago for a diaper distribution, and there was a little kid, 6 or 7, and I'm handing him his diapers, and they opened the window and I was handing the diapers through, and he was so excited that they got diapers, and he said, "I just want to thank you." And I'm like, "You're very welcome." He said, "We got diapers last month." And I said, "That's great." And he said, "So I got to go on my field trip with school." He wouldn't have been able to otherwise. And that's how it affects the whole family.
That's amazing. What a great motivation to just keep going.
It is.
So I noticed that it's called the Diaper Bank of the Inland Empire. Are there more now?
Well, we're part of a network, of a national diaper bank network. There are diaper banks all across the United States. So we're a member organization, and they provide us with resources. We are able to buy diapers at reduced rates through them. We like to get a lot of donated diapers, but some people, it's easier to just write a check or put in an electronic donation, which allows us to buy the diapers at a discounted rate. And they give us lots of advice and things like that. And there are really big diaper banks across the nation. I think we would be considered a small merging on medium-sized diaper bank. But it's interesting, a lot of diaper banks started in somebody's kitchen table, a mom that saw a need. So And those are some of the hugest ones now. So and there's, we live in a region where a lot of the economics of our region are low. And so there's just a lot of need. We're trying to get there one diaper at a time.
It's one of the things I love about doing this podcast is meeting folks that either are part of an organization or started an organization, and just like you said with that kitchen table, it takes that one little bit of desire to do good for somebody else, to give of your time or your presence, and what that can turn out to be. Now, like you said, the smallest ones have now turned into just these big organizations, and the beauty of that is that just means that many more people getting to help.
Yes.
That many more little kids being able to go on field trips.
Yes.
I love it. Well, we have another guest here with you today as well. And so I'd like to introduce her and bring her on.
Okay.
But I appreciate you stopping by on your way back home to Tennessee.
Not yet. I got another week here, so.
Okay, well, fantastic.
It's diaper distribution week this week, so I got to stay.
There you go. Well, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you got this started here in the Inland Empire, because like you said, there is a lot of need. And I'm glad that we have you on here as well, because it can be challenging for those families that do have a need to step forward and just ask for a little bit of help.
Right.
So hopefully, if there are families out there, if you know of a family that has a younger child in diapers and maybe they are having a little bit of a challenge, there's support out there.
Right.
And you don't have to be afraid to ask for it, because if you are one of those parents, or if you know one of those parents, just swallowing a little bit of pride and knowing that the help is there without any kind of judgment, it can make a big impact in your little one's life.
It can. It makes the difference.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. So, as I said, we have another guest here today. We have Courtney Garcia, who is the project manager for the Diaper Bank for the Inland Empire. And as Mandy was saying, she's the one that does it all. So we're glad that you have a passion for this and are involved as well. And so I was hoping you might be able to introduce yourself a little bit and how you ended up getting involved with the Diaper Bank. And then we can, maybe talk about events and how people can get involved.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. I joined Junior League in 2018, kind of forced in by my aunt, as my uncle would say. That's kind of when the Diaper Bank was kind of brought up as a project in Junior League, and fully launched in 2019. So I was a part of the launch. And I actually have worked in child development for 15 years. So I've been working with children actually since I was 18 years old. I jumped on board full time for the Diaper Bank in 2021, working, and here I am running the Diaper Bank full time.
That's amazing. Again, it's one of those little things where one little decision, and now you've kind of taken the reins, and now you're helping spread just good things to families. So, we touched on a few of the events, and I'm sure that you're very hands-on with just about all of it. So if you want to maybe dive into some more details about the diaper
Need Awareness Week.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually a big event that is going on in September. Like Mandy mentioned, we are a member of the National Diaper Bank Network, and that week all diaper banks kind of come together on social media, and we advocate for diaper need by posting on social media, by doing diaper drives within the community and kind of helping. So that's a big event in September, and like Jam the Van, we're throwing some ideas out there to do some diaper drives. But during that week, we will be posting on our social media about some statistics going on and that kind of stuff, and what we're doing for the week. Like Mandy had mentioned, 1 in 3 families struggles to afford diapers, but actually in 2024 that changed. It's actually 1 in 2 families now. So the need is greatly growing. within our communities. So Diaper Need Awareness Week is something that will be a big event. We also, I do community events within our communities, so a lot of health fairs. We have about 18 community partners at the moment, and so that is pretty big with us. And then we have our direct distribution with our families within the community, so Riverside and San Bernardino County. So we do that monthly distribution. That's one of our events. And so we look to do fundraising events. We actually have some ideas for September as well too. So yeah.
Well, fun. So you are doing a lot of stuff on social media to get the word out. So if folks want to be able to find you guys on social media, how do they do that?
Yeah, so you can visit our website, diaperbankie.org. That's where you can find the information to volunteer. We love volunteers, not just diaper drives. So we need organizations to help wrap our diapers. Not my favorite thing to do. I love the direct distribution. So we have some great community partners with us that help us wrap our diapers, like National Charity League here in Riverside. A Bank of America is a huge partner that loves to wrap with us. So there's just those are some few organizations that volunteer with us. Also, you can register on our website to receive diapers or donation.
Okay, and what's the website?
www.diaperbankie.org.
Okay, and then social media like Instagram would be.
Yeah,
Diaper
our
Bank
social
IE?
media handle will be Diaper Bank IE, and then Facebook as well, Diaper Bank of the Inland Empire.
Fantastic. And so obviously people can come out, wrap diapers with you, your favorite thing. Definitely shout out to the National Charity League. They're amazing. They just hit their 100th year.
Yes.
We have a few youth in the neighborhood that I serve for my publication that are at NCL, and so great organization. I'm glad that they're participating with you guys. So they can physically wrap diapers with you. Obviously, you can come and donate diapers, and then if you don't have diapers, like Mandy was said, you could also just donate on the site, which is great because you guys actually get a discount on the diapers. So, if you're thinking about donating diapers, great, especially if you already have some on hand. But if you don't, it may even be better to just donate funds because you guys can actually get them at a discount. So your dollar can actually go even further. But, I know for me, I like to get my kids involved, and sometimes it's fun to have them go and actually physically drop them off. So I'm glad you guys are doing amazing things here. Hopefully people will get involved. You guys are you guys are in a sprint right now, which is great. And then we'll either jam or cram that van come September. And where was that at again? Where can they come and help you cram the van?
So we do have a warehouse location over off of Chicago and Spruce and Riverside. But actually that week I will be driving out to your location. So I can come right to you and we'll fill the van.
Fantastic. And so they can just reach out, let you know, hey, I got diapers, you'll come pick them up, and then you'll do the cramming of the van or the jamming.
Yeah. It's an actual diaper drive.
Yeah, an actual diaper drive. I love it. Well, fantastic. I want to thank you guys so much for coming by and sharing about this. We think about, things like toy drives and diaper drives, and maybe it sounds so simplistic, but the real impact that you're making, and thank you so much, Mandy, for sharing your story, because I think it really drives home how maybe something so small in our minds can play such a huge impact on a little kid and an entire family. And the work you guys are doing is really improving the community as a whole. So thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Thanks.